Hello YouTube, it's been a while. Gonna do a video here on some things about the door that I've been working on. I've been consumed with it, and I finally have some things positive to say about it. Here's been a little collection of all the bolts that I've gotten out of this so far, and I've had this box for a while, and I thought, well, you know, you might be able to recycle some of these nuts and bolts and screws and all that and the washers if they're not too rusty. So that's why I got that. But anyway, going down here to the door, I put this Kane bolt on the inside here, and this door, the ideas and the origins of it and beginnings came from one of the YouTubers that I saw. And I gotta give him some props. His page was Bug Out Bus, I think. But anyway, he had a folding door, and it was a Thomas bus, and mine's a Bluebird. But his idea was to put these plates like this up there and down at the bottom, and make it firm so it opens up like a normal door. And I followed his idea and some of his instructions. But to use some of his words, there was a lot of surgery. There was a lot of grinding, a lot of angle grinder, you know, 17 broken drill bits later, nuts, bolts, screws, many trips to the hardware store to get the right size, trial and error, a lot of cutting. And then there's going to have to be some weather stripping put in too later, but I'll deal with that later. But for now, I think I got a good functional door that's going to work for my purposes, and I'm not a pro. I much would rather work with wood versus metal. Man, there's something to be said about drilling into metal and cutting and doing that stuff. It's pretty tedious. It's not as forgiving as wood is. Yeah, any day I'd work with wood. But anyway, I'm gonna open this door. If you just do that, it opens up. I got this hole in there, and I got this all hinged up. I had to take the air brakes, well, not the air brakes, but the air off the air cylinder that was up above here that opened the door, because the door originally opened by compressed air in and out, but it folded, and I wanted it to open up regular. So that's why I did it like this and followed that guy's idea. But I did a bunch of hinges. You would be lucky if you was hinged on this side and could make it fold outward that way. But anyway, going out, I actually moved this from here to there, and like I said, you can see the reinforcement here that I put to make this rigid on the bottom and then on the top as well. And so when you close it, I haven't yet devised something to be right in here to close it up top or up at the middle at eye level. But I did figure out a way that I'm going to be able to lock it. And that is with this. It's kind of springy, so I have to hold it, but I haven't bought a lock for it yet, but I'm just holding it with my foot. And so you'll put the lock in there with the key, and then you're on your way. So when you're on the inside of the bus, you come in, you close it. It's going to close from here, and close that up, and then you're good to go. And when you leave, I'll have something up here to clasp it when you're just coming and going. But if you're going to leave for the day or something, you can lock it down there, and that should work. But you can see there's a lot of cutting and a lot of holes and stuff, and I still have to make some finishing touches on this, but this is a pretty heavy duty bolt these bolts, I need to cut them off, and I had to remark, and man, it's quite a bit of a job to be drilling these holes and stuff, and then when you don't use the right screws and whatnot, and then if it doesn't line up, it doesn't fit, you got to redo it and move it again. But a lot of tedious work. But man, this has been a labor of love over the past couple weeks with this door. Anyway, it's better than pragmatic. It's going to work for me. I'm not a professional at this. I'm learning as I go. I was going to give a shout out to Zach over at Rolling Vistas. He mentioned in one of his things, top 15 things that you're going to experience when that you need to know when you're working with the buses, that you'll get tired of going back and forth to the hardware store to get screws, nuts, and bolts and stuff. And I concur. I agree, because I've made like numerous trips. It'd be nice if there was one just right next door, if you had an endless supply of various bolts and nuts and screws and stuff. And it adds up, you know. That's why I'm saving and trying to salvage any that I can, that box that I got in there. But anyway, I got two other things to show as we walk around. I just got done putting these other Kane bolts in here for the back. If you lock this, that'll lock right there, and you can put a lock right there, and then that should lock that up. So I got that one done. And then this has a side door, and I got this one done, and it opens like so. Same thing, and I can just put a lock right there. And so now, hypothetically, I should be able to keep my tools on the inside of the bus, and nobody can rob me unless they're completely desperate and, you know, bring a screwdriver with them and undo that. But I don't think they'll go that far, but you never know. Like I said, people are desperate. But anyway, YouTube, this is Travels with Dave. The good, the bad, and the Skoolie. The ups and downs, the victories. Every time you do something good on the bus, it motivates you to do more. It certainly helps when you come to the end of something and finally see a little bit of progress. I also put these little handles on here. Pretty inexpensive and a really easy thing to do, just for something to hang on to. Got that one. But anyway, later on I'll have another video out as I get more of the door done and get the weather stripping in there. And look at that humongous bee right there. Now that is big. Wow. Anyway, this is Travels with Dave again, the good, the bad, and the Skoolie, signing off. Enjoy. If you like it, subscribe, and let me know if you could have done it better. But at this point, I'm just happy with what I got so far. It's gonna work. Bye bye.